Franchise tag news, guys. World of Matchups is in the building. Spencer the Wiz, Dexter Reed. Check it out. So, a lot of tags have dropped. Most notable in my mind are the running backs. Saquon gets tagged. I believe he got tagged because Daniel Jones got signed, and they're going to keep both of them. They needed those things to happen to keep Saquon. I'm pretty sure that Saqoun Barkley did not want to play on the franchise tag. He wants a long-term deal.
Nobody does. Yeah,
I personally believe that I would have traded Saqoun Barkley. You can get – hear me out. Look what happened with Christian McCaffrey. There was a time where you could have got 2 1s for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you can get 2 1s for Saqoun Barkley, but you can get close to it. Look at the last 10 Super Bowl winners. I want you to look at their starting running backs, guys. Isaiah Pacheco was found in the 7th round. In the 7th round, Isaiah Pacheco made $960,000 this year. Goodbye, Saquon. Now you're going to get something out of him this year, but you got to ask yourself, are the Giants winning the Super Bowl? Are the Giants even close to making it to the Super Bowl? And don't get gassed. I know you went to Minnesota and you beat the Vikings. I understand that. But the Vikings are trash. Let's be honest. It's the most overrated team in the entire National Football League. So if you're playing chess, you're kicking this can down the road with the Giants. Okay, you overpaid DJ. It's what it is. We're not going to waste any time talking about the absolute embarrassment that is. Okay? But you can find a replacement for Saquon, and you can take picks and money and go into this draft, and I think you could come back with a viable replacement. But instead, you tag him. He's still going to make a boatload of money, and then guess what? He's going to walk anyway next year. I don't know about that. JJ, I thought Josh Jacobs was gone, okay? Came out and said, I'll play on the tag, guys, but you're going to have to surround me with some talent. You're going to have to surround me with some stars. I'll play on the tag. I'll stay, which why wouldn't you want to stay in Vegas, honestly? You know, you're paying less money.
He plays in a great system, too.
You're playing a great system. You're touching the ball all the time. Coach loves you. You know, they love you. JJ, they love you. You have so much leverage because you were the NFL rushing leader. You got amazing. You had a career year. So play on the tag. You know, that to me makes more sense than leaving and going to Carolina on a 7-year deal, which you know you're not going to play 4 of them, or Houston where it's going to be you and 50 other running backs. That makes sense, tagging him. But I'm here to tell you, where's the talent that they're surrounding him with? I haven't heard it yet. Now it's early. It's early. The draft hasn't even happened yet. You know, we as NFL fans, pundits, media coverage, we all want it now because the Super Bowl is over and we want something to talk about. But I don't see the Raiders doing anything at all. And so you guys better get to work if you want to keep this guy happy, because he's going to play on the tag and be surrounded by him and Devontae and not much else. And you don't have a quarterback right now. So that's something to look at. But I do, you know, I like JJ's situation more than I like Saquon. I think sometimes in the NFL, owners, GMs, coaches, they hang on too long. Think about the haul they could have got for Christian McCaffrey if they traded him at the draft. Now they've got nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And he can go win a Super Bowl. You can't tell me the Niners can't win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. I like Saquon, but I would have gotten rid of him. I would have traded him to the Bears and took everything the Bears have. That's
especially when they have that much space. But yeah, I think the Raiders are in such a very bizarre, unique situation where, I mean, the thing is, and there's so much that goes into factor of this. I mean, they have one of the best systems, I think, in the NFL offensively. I mean, you had the leading rusher and a top 3 wide receiver on the same team. That's so rare. And that's the thing about the discourse around, you know, Josh McDaniels that I think is just so thrown under the rug. The biggest mistakes this guy made last year were his in-game coaching decisions. Nobody, I mean, I would go against anybody. You cannot argue that he has one of the best offensive systems in the entire league. If you can have that much production in one season, I think if you can clean up the coaching decision, those are so much easier. You cannot teach over one offseason a system. You've seen it. It just doesn't happen. Yeah. So if this guy can clean up his decisions, you have a really legitimate team. And I do think it's smart to keep Josh Jacobs around at least for one more season. especially if you end up drafting a rookie, which we'll see what ends up happening with that. I can't think
Zamir White's there too. Let's not act
can't-
like Zamir's good. Not good. He's good.
I could see them getting rid of Josh Jacobs. Now, you could say, well, they should have traded him if they're going to go with Zamir White. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't. You're never going to make every single decision is the right decision. That is such a fallacy. Oh, they could have signed him last year and, saved $2 million. It's like by picking up his option. It's like, okay, I mean, $2 million. It's like, it's just never going to be perfect for you. You're never going to get everything right. And I think generally speaking, the Raiders have done the right thing. And if you do end up getting a rookie, I cannot think of one situation when it comes to these teams drafting the top 10 that a better rookie can go into. You have the best receiver in football, in my opinion. You have a top 3 running back. You have one of the best tight ends in the league. I mean, you list those 3 things off. I mean, go look at all these teams who are going to be drafting: the Colts, the Texans, the Panthers. They don't have anything close to what they have here for the Raiders. So if I'm a rookie, man, I'm hoping that I get drafted in them. I kind of like Anthony Richardson. I'm not going to lie. That's the guy who I'm keying in on. I don't know if I'd necessarily take him at 7, but you get Stidham. You sign a guy like Anthony Richardson or Hendon Hooker, and you give him Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, Devontae Adams going into the season. You got to be happy about that. If you're
it looks good.
You
Problem
get
is you
hand
got
the ball
no
off.
defense at all.
Well, if that's what happens when you have a rookie quarterback, though, that means you have a bunch of cap space to now sign a lot of these guys.
Gotta sign some free agents. I mean, the only alluring
this is
thing
such
about
a
Las
good
Vegas
free
is
agency
that
class for defense.
you keep more of your money because of the tax brackets. That's it. I mean,
but look at
defense
Jesse Bates is a
bad.
free agent. Truman Edmonds from
Jesse
Buffalo
Bates
Bills.
is a good safety.
There's
He's
so
available.
many good defensive free agents.
Jordan Poyer's available.
I just think that the Raiders are in such a good position right now. This is the first time in
Spend some
my
money. What are you guys
entire
waiting for?
life that I have been happy about where the Raiders are at. This like Carson Palmer, Jason Campbell nonsense carousel that they've been on for 20 years. I think that they're just going to sit. They have a loaded free agency class. They can pick up some of these guys. They bring in. I want Hendon Hooker so bad. I'm not going to lie. This is the guy who I want in the second round more than anything. I'll trade up to the second round part.
I don't even think you have to trade up to get him.
I mean, if you get him and you sit him behind Hendon Hooker or behind Jared Stidham for a year, man, you are in such a good position. If you get a good defensive player at number 7, you go heavy in free agency.
I don't like Richardson. I really don't.
Man. I don't like him in the first round. You get him in the second round. His
accuracy is non-existent. I mean, I know
he played for Florida though, and that's not to his benefit. I mean, Florida is a terrible school. I mean, they played a real. All these colleges are converting to these more spread offenses that you see in the NFL. They ran a gimmicky little trick play offense in Florida, which I think I don't like
his arm. I like his athleticism, but not in the first round.
Hooker would be I said, I think that's smoke. I don't think Anthony Richardson gets takes in the first round. That's just social media hype, to be honest with you.
Do you have enough to trade up and get CJ?
No, it's not worth it. The Raiders are too far behind.
They're too far behind. Yeah.
If they were CJ Stroud away from competing like all of like the Eagles or something, yes, maybe. But they're not. And I think they know that. I think
they've been smart.
Yeah, I think having Josh Jacobs for a franchise tag, right, doesn't really matter, right? It's $10 million. It's a good price for a top 3 running back.
Even if he's gone next year, you still got him for this year.
It is what it is. You get a good running back next year.
Running backs are a dime a dozen, man.
Bijan Robinson, man, if you
everyone's got a good running back.
He's not going to go in the first round, I doubt. So you get a guy like Bijan Robinson in the second round. That's a franchise.
Oh no, he's gone.
You think he goes in the first round?
Dude, this guy is comparable to Adrian Peterson. He will not see out of the first 20.
Seeing something like that, but
he's gone,
obviously the Raiders aren't going to take him in the first round.
No, they don't need him.
Right decision.
They don't need him.
The franchise tag, I think, is extremely underused in the NFL. I cannot believe more teams don't use it every year.
Yeah, I really can't. I agree because these contracts they're insane.
I don't mind you don't mind spending top 10 money on a position for 1 year. It's when you go over the course of 4 years that's the real problem.
Years. That's
the context of one season is so different than the context 3 years down the road. Yeah. It really is, and I think more teams are going to start using
depending on your needs. Using the tag is smart. I mean, look at a guy like Evan Engram in Jacksonville. They tag him. You know,
is he worth that much money for is probably not, but is he worth that much money for one season?
In that system, dude, Jacksonville's not far away.
Yeah,
Jacksonville won a playoff game, dude. Evan Engram was a top 5 wide
And
receiver.
you can keep doing it. They don't really have a choice. Like Evan Ingram isn't good enough to decline
To
it. So
give-
if they want to
yeah.
franchise tag him for the next 2 years and then let him
Tag the shit
walk,
out of tag the hell out of him. Why not? And so
basically the only time you can't do that is a quarterback.
Is a
No other
quarterback.
player, no other position in the league has the power to say I'm not playing under the franchise tag. And why the Giants didn't franchise tag Daniel Jones? Because he definitely doesn't have the power.
Well,
It's
they
beyond
want.
me.
It's beyond me. They wanted because they know that Saquon was that they want to. That's the only way they could keep both. Some of the more notable non-tags for me were like, I was shocked that the Chiefs didn't tag Orlando Brown. Honestly, I mean, that offensive line was the reason why
I think they're kind
they
of
won the Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
And you know that I do understand that O-line's going to get expensive here. You're going to have to pay Humphrey, Smith. I mean, these guys, they're going to want their bread. You know, zero sacks.
He's just
zero
better.
sacks.
I think these other guys are just better, and
They're just better.
I think they were kind of just turned off from all the nonsense he pulled off last offseason, and they just didn't want to go through it again.
Yeah, I think they're going to let him walk. I don't see them signing him to big money. I'll actually be really shocked if they do. You can find a stopgap now. You got to be careful because you got to protect your $500 million asset.
Yeah.
But they got Lucas Niang. There's other guys that they can bring in who have been released from other teams. I mean, even like
there was a kid from
Taylor
Tennessee.
Lewan, you know, he's not washed yet. He's a 1 year hit, you know, kid from Tennessee. There's guys, man. You know what I mean? So, but I was kind of surprised not to see that happen because I thought after that performance in the playoffs that they would because he was fantastic in the playoffs. But, you know, the tag is the tag. The tag is there so the NFL doesn't put up with some of these more egregious contracts. I'm just surprised that teams don't really use it as much. But I'm telling you right now, Big Blue, enjoy Saquon because he's gone. I promise you, I will bet my life he will not be a Giant after
That's
this year.
more surprising because Josh Jacobs you're not going to fetch a big price for him, like a second-round pick if you're lucky, probably a third. But for Saquon, I think you get way closer to a first-round pick.
You get a first and a second.
Yeah, for sure.
You get a first and a second for Saquon right now. Dummies.
Well, I don't know. The Giants have never really been ran well ever.
No.
They kind of just fell backwards into some Super Bowls with Eli.
Yeah, and that's a whole other story, but I will not I will not disagree with that. I think Eli Manning will make it into the Hall of Fame because his last name is Manning and for no other reason. That's a whole nother guy's he threw 2 passes that will get him into the Hall of Fame, which is disgusting. But anyway, World of Matches bringing the off-season heat, folks. As soon as it drops, we drop. We're sitting back. We're waiting for it all to happen.
It's heating up now. I mean, the month after the Super Bowl is pretty much just like talking about the Super Bowl.
Starting to get warm.
NFL season started.
Yeah, and then obviously, once the draft hits, guys, we'll be back in the studio. We'll
do draft. Cannot wait. It's the best.
We'll do the draft recap just like we do every year because
we'll do a preview too. I'd love to do a mock draft.
Maybe we'll do a mock draft preview. Yeah, Spencer and I just sit around and figure, what do you want to do this week? So that's kind of where we're at right now, guys. Again, thanks for the likes. Thanks for subscribing. Share the stuff. We appreciate it getting out. We kind of do it for fun, but we kind of do it seriously as well. So hope you guys are all well. Chief fans, congratulations on the Super Bowl. We are going to relish in this until the time comes to kick the ball again. World of Matches back at action every single week. Something drops, we'll drop it to you. We'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
Peace.